Hey, a couple things. I've had people asking me what's going on with the new tax laws that are coming in, how it's going to affect us in the investment business. First off, they haven't signed it yet, so it's really hard to say what they're going to have because we don't really know what they have. Looks like a couple things, so there's a huge litany of things that are going to be affecting us. But let's just discuss two that are probably going to be reasonably significant. I think are probably going to pass. And the one is going to be the non-deductibility of state income tax. This is going to be a really huge transaction in the fact that a lot of states have a lot of taxes, so you have a lot of state income tax, and of course the mitigating factor for these folks that have high income tax in states like California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois. Is that they can take this off their federal taxes, so the states sell it as kind of like a wash. You get this great deduction, and of course you don't really have to pay state tax. Well, of course, that looks like that's going to go away. So that could be very, very significant for people. And think of this as not just people; it's corporations. So if you're a corporation that has a headquarters or has a facility in a high tax state like California or Illinois or New York, New Jersey, maybe Minnesota, some of these places that have fairly high taxes, you're going to lose a lot of benefits. And of course, we here in the West, we here in Arizona, we have a huge influx of people from California anyway. It's just natural. There's lots of negative things that are happening in California. It's just going to add to their problems. And we get a lot of people from Illinois. We seem to have a huge migration from people from Illinois. And that's going to just add to this. So we here in Arizona, we already get 222 people net a day. We are the number one county in America. We're probably going to get even more. So we're really looking, and we get about 1.78% of our population growth every year. And of course, we have 7 million people. So that's Arizona gets about 125,000 net population growth a year. That's probably going to accelerate. So we think the growth here is just going to go from great to unbelievable. So, and it's going to be really tough on exodus states. If you're in California, I think Californians are going to have a problem with this. And what's going to happen is that you're going to start seeing the tax base is going to start leaving. So those people that pay taxes, those people that are the high wage earners, those people that support the tax system in the communities and municipalities, they're going to vote with their feet, and they're going to get out. So I think this is going to be in a new tax law. So I think that's something we need to pay attention to. Maybe it doesn't affect a lot of people, but it may affect quite a few people. And then we have some deductibility concerns. So there's going to be a cap on how much interest that you can take on properties. And I think it's going to be about $750,000 to $1 million. So $750,000 mortgage or $1 million probably doesn't affect most people. I think the average house in America is around $200,000. So having a mortgage of $750,000 or $1 million, I don't think we've set that up yet. Probably it's not going to affect a lot of people. But in places again like California, New York, maybe even in places like Seattle, San Francisco, California, they are going to have lots of problems because we have some pretty high expensive properties. And of course, particularly in the Silicon Valley, I think it's just absolutely crazy. You got Silicon Valley and San Francisco. So, and that goes right back to that's deductibility on the interest for home-based interest. So there's one other thing that's going to be coming out of that as well is the fact that taxes can only be taken off. So I think they're going to be, now this hasn't been done for sure, but it looks to me like we're going to be looking at around a $10,000 property tax cap. So I know in places like Illinois, Chicago, they have some of the highest taxes in the nation. Same with New Jersey. I mean, the property taxes there are astronomical. So people can easily have a $25,000-$35,000, Ohio, Cincinnati for property taxes, and they're going to be limited to $10,000. California, the same thing. I mean, they're pretty high property taxes. And states like Maricopa County in Arizona, $10,000 for property taxes. We have low property taxes here in Arizona. I mean, at $10,000 would put you up almost to a $2 million house. And typically, I mean, $200,000-$300,000 is the average price here. $400,000 gets you a pretty nice house. $2 million for a house gets you a mansion. I mean, you get a spectacular home here in Arizona for $2 million. And the property taxes be about $10,000 on a $2 million home, maybe even less than that. Our property taxes just are not that high. We're a very fiscally responsible state. So what's going to happen is that those folks that have been paying taxes and been getting a relief from mitigation from paying your tax bill to the federal government are going to lose that. So I think what we're going to see is that people are going to be a little more vigilant and maybe even militant about holding their officials accountable for spending, because now it's going to directly affect them that they're going to be paying enormous costs. I think this will eventually be a good thing, but in the short term, I think you're going to see states again like California and Illinois who are losing people. This is going to accelerate. I mean, we're in Arizona. We're a very fiscally responsible state, and our taxes here are just not that expensive. So I even have a place. I have an investment condo in Scottsdale. My annual taxes are $281 a year for taxes for an investment property that we own. $281 a year. So this is going to be very, very good for places that are low net. I think Florida probably will benefit from it. Arizona is just going to go crazy. Nevada's going to do really, really well. We're going to see a pretty big migration for people who want to open up businesses. I mean, why on earth would you put your workers to this kind of an expense? I mean, so it just adds a negative reason not to do business in these states. It's tough to do business in these states anyway. So now that it's just one more nail in their coffin. So I think you're going to start seeing. We talked a lot about the exodus from Illinois, the exodus from California, going to benefit most of those in the Southwest, Nevada, Arizona for sure. I mean, Maricopa County, again, we're the number one county in America. We're going to get even more. So we're getting 1.78% population growth, which is about 125,000 a year, most of which go to the Maricopa County. I think we're getting around 80 to 90,000. I think that you're going to see that accelerate. I think you're going to start seeing we go up to 2.5% population growth, which could easily put us up to 175, 200,000 person per year population growth, which again adds just growth here would be phenomenal. So really good for us, bad for other places in the country. Just have to be aware where you're at. Just have to start thinking, maybe start thinking a little bit longer term. We think we have an explosion coming here anyway. So we're here to help you any way we possibly can. We'll talk to your spouse. We'll talk to your significant other. We will talk to your financial advisor. We'll do anything we possibly can. We're here to try and get you financially free as soon as we possibly can and change your life for the better. So this is Michael from Scottsdale. My very, very best to you. Bye-bye now.